All right, everyone, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome. Please grab a seat. I am so thrilled to have you all here today. We are diving deep into an explainer on business ideation. Basically, this is designed to properly prepare you for your upcoming Chapter 2 exams. Think of this explainer as your ultimate study guide. We're going to break down the exact tools and techniques you've got to memorize, not just to ace your test, but honestly, to actually generate breakthrough business ideas out there in the real world.
So looking at today's syllabus, we've got a lot of ground to cover. We'll kick things off with an introduction to business ideation, then jump into the rules of brainstorming, followed by structured ideation using Scamper. After that, we'll tackle problem solving with the 5 whys, and finally wrap up with some advanced idea generation methods. Let's get right into it.
All right, Section 1, Introduction to Business Ideation. Let's start with the absolute foundation here. What exactly are we talking about when we throw around the term ideation in a business context? Well, ideation isn't just, having a random shower thought. As your textbook outlines, it's the creative process of generating, developing, and communicating new ideas. And these ideas can be highly visual, super concrete, or just completely abstract. Ideation actually comprises the entire thought cycle. So we're talking going from that initial spark of innovation straight through development all the way to actualization. This forms the absolute bedrock of Chapter 2 in your business studies, so make sure you've got this progression memorized cold.
Moving right along, Section 2, the rules of brainstorming.
Okay, open your notebooks to a technique that examiners absolutely love to test you on, brainstorming. Straight out of your college notes, brainstorming is the process of generating all possible ideas about a specific topic in a freewheeling manner. In a formal session, a designated leader records absolutely everything on a flip chart or electronic board, no matter how illogical or wild those ideas might initially seem to the group. Now, if you want full marks on the exam, you've got to memorize these 4 strict rules of a formal brainstorming session. First up, no criticism or negative comments allowed, period. That includes body language, folks. Second, encourage the carefree expression of ideas. Honestly, the crazier, the better. Third, focus on the essence of the ideas, not the slowing details. And then there's this 4th rule, which is absolutely crucial, leapfrogging. Go ahead and put a giant star next to this in your notes. Leapfrogging just means using one idea as a springboard to jump forward quickly to another completely different idea. All right, Section 3, Structured Ideation with Scamper. So stepping away from those freewheeling methods for a minute, let's look at what happens when a business problem requires a much more structured framework. You know examiners love acronyms, right? Well, Scamper is a crucial framework that actually forces you to look at a business challenge from 7 distinct analytical angles. Let's try applying this to a startup to make it stick. Imagine you're launching a new coffee shop startup. How do you stand out in a crowded market? You'd run your basic coffee shop concept right through the Scamper method to force some innovation. And hey, if you want to practice this method tonight for your exam prep, just look around your dorm room. Try applying Scamper to everyday objects, like a coffee mug, a paperclip, or even your backpack. Make sure you write this down exactly as it's shown. Substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to other uses, eliminate, and reverse. Let's go back to our coffee shop startup example. Could we, say, substitute traditional seating for standing desks? Maybe we could combine the cafe with a local independent bookstore. Or could we eliminate the checkout counter entirely and just use a mobile app? See how that works? By forcing your brain through these 7 specific steps, you systematically generate a massive range of ideas that are totally suitable for development. Section 4, Problem Solving using the 5 whys.
Sometimes, generating a new business idea requires uncovering the root of an existing business issue first. The 5 whys is a seemingly simplistic yet incredibly invaluable root cause analysis tool used to peel back the layers of an issue and expose hidden problems. So if a company's sales suddenly drop, you don't just immediately brainstorm a flashy new marketing campaign. You really need to find out why they dropped first.
The actual execution here is just incredibly straightforward. You simply state the problem and then execute these sequential steps, repeatedly asking why until the true primary causal factor is completely exposed. Why are sales down? Well, because foot traffic decreased. Why? Because the street outside is under construction. Why? You get the idea, right? It drives right down to the root cause, providing a rock-solid foundation for your subsequent ideation.
And finally, Section 5, Advanced Idea Generation Methods.
For the final section of our review today, we're going to do a quick lightning round of secondary techniques to make absolutely sure we have 100% syllabus coverage for your test. Pay close attention to this crucial contrast because it frequently appears on exams. While traditional brainstorming strictly bans criticism, reverse brainstorming actually encourages fault-finding. You basically sit the team down and ask, in how many ways can this idea completely fail?
You focus entirely on the negative to figure out where a product is going to break, and then you ideate solutions to those specific faults.
Now, once a general idea exists, you might need an expert opinion, or at the very least, the opinion of people who are highly familiar with the issue. That's exactly where focus groups come in. You gather 5 to 10 people, like for example, asking frequent book buyers what specific changes they want in a bookstore coffee shop, and use that group discussion to throw light on the issue and refine your broad idea into a really viable business proposition.
You also need to be prepared to identify a few other advanced methods. Body storming, physically simulate solutions using your body to overcome the limits of just sitting at a desk. Then there's the collective notebook method, where participants record ideas daily in a pocket notebook over the course of an entire month. Problem inventory analysis gives consumers a list of general problems to associate with existing products in a category. And finally, the method of loci, which is often called a memory palace, is a really cool mnemonic device where you actually visualize placing information around a physical room.
Your study materials also heavily highlight the garden technique. Now, this one is fascinating. In this method, the group isn't even told the exact nature of the problem initially. The leader just guides them through developing concepts first. This successfully prevents preconceived notions and existing behavioral patterns from completely clouding the ultimate solution.
Remember, class, mastering these techniques isn't just about passing your Chapter 2 exam. It's really about equipping yourself with heuristics. That's the ability to discover and settle for estimated outcomes through a progression of thoughts, insights, and learning. That is how you generate dynamic, real-world solutions that actually matter. All right, class is dismissed. But before you pack up your notes and head out the door, I want you to ask yourself a question. When it comes time to actually launch your own venture, which of these methods is going to spark your success? Will it be the structured discipline of Scamper, the root cause digging of the 5 whys, or the freewheeling energy of a brainstorming session? Think about it. Study hard, review this explainer as much as you need, and I will see you at the exam.